Hey, don't mind me, I'm just playing with the lighting this morning. How you doing? You good weekend? No, I did. Got a lot accomplished. Got a few things done here and there. And, it's just kind of a wonderful thing. Be able to get down here in the morning, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, I think you'll notice that when Chuck Norris and old Wesley Snipes and Christie are on these things and doing their commercials, they're also talking to you at the same time they're exercising. You'll also notice that their total gyms are set up at about level 4. I've got mine set up at level 7, so a little different, to say the least. The neat thing about the total gym is that you can vary the exercise simply by changing the position of your hands. You noticed I was doing the chest presses there starting up here. Now that was one set at 15, but I can also come from down here up. And what that does, that changes the stress on your chest. You're still working your chest, you're still working your shoulders. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. But the stress, when you're pushing from here, stress is across the top of the chest. When you're coming down from here, it changes to the lower part of the chest so that your pec muscles get a more even distribution. Also focuses very heavily on the front of the shoulder, back of the shoulder when you're in resistance. So just changing the angle of the exercise changes the whole perspective on the total gym. What makes it such a valuable tool? The total gym downstairs, got that out of the way. Moved upstairs here, got my floor exercises done. I've gotten my my squats, my bend overs, my 50 push-ups. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue on, and this is called a seated military press. Pretty easy exercise, very straightforward. I have here a bar that is mounted with two 50-pound plates, or two 25-pound plates, excuse me, and a 10-pound bar for a total of 60 pounds. That's all this is. Now, 60 pounds may not sound like kind of daunting, but it's actually a fairly light amount. When I'm wearing, got my gloves on. These are nothing more than Vallejo lifting gloves. There are several companies that make these. They're all pretty much the same glove. Nice and padded here. Give you a good firm grip so that you don't have any grip problems when you're lifting. I recommend them. Not everybody wears them. Some people prefer their open hand without grips. Hey, that's fine with me. This is the essential part. It's called the weight belt. As I'm sure you can see right around here, it is around my waist. It is firm, it is wide, it is wider in the back than it is in the front. The reason for this is to brace and support your lower back. Now, folks, the worst thing you can do when you're trying to do weight training is to hurt yourself. Obviously, that's not the goal. So, weight belt is an essential item. You put it on before you lift, period. I don't care if you're doing arms, if you're doing legs, if you're doing back, if you're doing chest, it doesn't matter. You need to put the belt on and keep it on so that you protect your lower back. Any sudden movement affects the core, and when it affects the core, of course, that's that lower back having to work in there. Those are very small muscles. They need to be well supported. That's why you're building your back. That's why you're building your glutes. That's why you're building your legs. It's why you want a strong chest and a firm abdomen, because those small muscles in the back need to be supported so you can have flexibility and strength. So, make sure you wear your belt. Big rule. Now, to do a seated military press is very simple. You take your bar up to chin height, right about here, and then you press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you notice I don't lock out at the top.
keep the movement on the chest, keep the pressure on the chest. It keeps your body moving properly and keeps your muscles working out. In addition to just that chest muscle there, you're also working tops of your shoulders, front of your shoulders, your trapezius. Your arms get involved a little bit too. That's a seated military press. 3 sets of 10. Then I'll move on to some back exercises, and I'll move on to the bench. Okay, you may have noticed I lowered the back of the bench and getting ready to do some seated rows. Now, this is an extension that was intended for leg exercises, back exercises, so it basically is pivoted right here where my hands are. There's a screw right there, there's a little L extension piece that comes back and forth. It's not as smooth as working out in the gym with an actual rowing machine, because it does this one you have to actually get that motion moving, and then you can't really let it go all the way back down because you have to start it all over again. But that's a good thing. You want to keep this in continuous motion. The main thing about doing back exercises is to make sure that you're firmly planted before you try to move this. If you don't have your feet in the right place, if your back isn't in the right position and your legs aren't really there to support you, you can seriously hurt yourself. Again, we're talking lower back here. This is why you have that lower back. That's why you have the back belt on, the brace. It's supposed to be that way so that you make sure that you take care of these muscles. What we're going to be working today with the seated roll is a full extension of the back, primarily your dorsals, which are these, or the latissimus dorsi, which are the larger muscles, the wings Bruce Lee had under him back when he was in the day, if you guys remember him. And Jet Li even had them too. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your feet are firmly hooked somewhere, that your legs are here ready to support your back. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull this weight back to your chest, and you're going to let it go lower and bring it out like this. What you're doing there is making a rowing motion from up and down. It's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now the key to that exercise, first of all, when you start to grip up, you want to make sure that abdomen is tight. You want to make sure that you get your full extension on your muscles, bring it all the way back, and then when you bring it down, you want to resist that weight to bring it back up again. Keep that rowing motion flowing. You want to do 3 sets of those. 10, I've got 100 pounds on here. You can do it with 50, you can do it with 75, doesn't matter. The latissimus dorsi, that big muscle in the back, is a big muscle. It is going to take a little bit of weight in order to make that muscle respond. But you can do it. Small, start off small, work out big. How it works. Okay. Back again. A few exercises go on. Okay, guys, this is a guy thing. Yeah, it is. It's a guy thing. We don't admit it. Well, everybody does it. No, not everybody does this, but everybody should. And yeah, it is a guy thing. Okay, why? Because guys like big chests. Why? Because big chests attract women. Fact of life, nothing to be wrong with that. That's for sure. We're going to do some bench pressing here, and I've got it loaded up light. I think it's about 90 pounds total. 10 for my bar, 5 for the 2 collars that are on it. 225s is 50. That would be 65. 75, 85, and two 2.5s would be 90. Or, yeah, 90 pounds. So it's not a huge lift, anything that's going to be all that monstrous. But it is something that when I go lighter like this, I like to make sure I've got really maximum control. Maximum control means lowering your weights slowly, lifting them in a faster fashion, making sure that the bar goes across your chest, on your chest before you push back up, and make sure that your arms go up but not quite locked out. Now that's form. Also, when you go down, you'll notice I will arch my back, and that's to get the pressure down on across the shoulders and the chest. Keep it off that lower back again. Here you go. Okay. Grip about Right about here is comfortable. Okay, the shoulder width. Okay, I like to keep my thumb hooked over instead of under. And here we go. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. And again, guys, that's not impressive, I understand. You want me to impress you, I'll have to do a 185, 200-pound lift sometime. Yeah, I'm not impressed. It happens. You don't have to be either. It's not the amount of weight that you're doing. It's the pattern, it's the form of the exercise that makes the difference, guys. You ever watch bodybuilders before they go on stage? If you've seen Pumping Iron or any of those clone movies that show you that kind of behind-the-scenes look, those guys are pumping up, and they're not pumping up with huge monster weights. They're pumping up with small weights. It's the concentration. It's the form that gets your weight pumped, that gets your muscles pumped up. It's the form that dedicates that blood to this area, that gets your body ready to go to that competition. That's what you're looking for anytime you're lifting weights. Size comes as a result of a large amount of weight over a long period of time. The muscles have to lift it up. You just pound them, pound them, pound them until they realize, hey, we got to get bigger. But proportion, beauty, sculpting, whatever you want to call it, body sculpting versus body building. Body sculpting is accomplished with form. Form is everything, and form also has another very important part. Form is what keeps you safe. Form is what keeps you from getting hurt. That's the important part. We don't want you hurt. I don't want you hurt. I'm sure you don't want you hurt. Form is everything. Make sure your form is correct every time.